live.
Hey everyone, welcome to Slow News Day Live. My name is Steve Poikinen. We normally do the Sunday afternoon show as a Rockfin exclusive. Today we're making an exception to that to get this information out to the widest possible audience. Before we get to this, I would like to welcome back my wonderful co-host Glory Jones. What's happening, Glory? Did you get your Attack of Titan on?
Yes, I did. We crashed Crunchyroll because that's how we do it. That's how hype it is. But and it's in my background too. So if any of you are cultured and watch the show, then you'll recognize these lovely titans, Beast Titan, Colossal Titan, and that Armored Titan, and that. Now that I'm done with that, we have a douche cunt we need to attend to. So
Yeah. So, as the title suggests, and as many of you are already aware, our friend and friend of the show, Whitney Webb, discovered last week that she'd been flat the fuck out ripped off. What happened, and as we'll prove here today, is that her former former co-writer on some of the Engineering Contagion series, and the guy who managed her Rockfin and website, uploaded articles to the website and whatnot, and helped build out Unlimited Hangout. It is the aforementioned douche cunt. So let me explain a little bit how Rockfin works, because without that is going to be kind of nebulous. When you have your initial meeting with the Rockfin folks and you get on board with the channel, when you come on board, they set up a separate meeting for you with the gentleman named Scott, who then gets you your access to your Coinbase wallet, which is where you get your cryptocurrency, which Rockfin pays out content creators in. So instead of the way that YouTube does shit, where you have an AdSense account and then YouTube takes 40% off the top, and 2 or 3 months later you eventually get paid for whatever your super chat or ad revenue is. Rockfin immediately meets with you, has you set up your Coinbase wallet, and then when you do that, your crypto immediately gets transferred into that Coinbase wallet. Scott is the dude who walks you through it, and this happens for every single person who has content on Rockfin. So in the case of Unlimited Hangout, when they got a Rockfin channel, and I, full disclosure, I got Whitney on Rockfin, and in order at James Jaime's request. So I set it up, and I remember in this process CCing Raul in an email, the introductory email that I wrote for Rockfin and Whitney. So Raul Diego was the guy who had the conversation with Scott. So Raul set up the Coinbase wallet. Just Sunday, a week ago, for the first time, I would imagine because we're approaching the holidays or some shit, or because she's a writer and she needed some fucking cash to continue doing her work, Whitney wanted to cash out her Rockfin account. Let me try and I'm going through the a conversation that I had with Whitney earlier today, to try and put this out in order, in the right way. So prior to this happening, prior to last Sunday, Raul and Whitney were trying to figure out if they would be able to continue working together. No, I don't know. I don't have any information about whether or not there were disagreements. I don't have any information about any of that. So I don't know if it's demands on schedule or interpersonal conflict. I have no idea. What I do know is that the decision that they had reached is that they would be parting ways. At the time, Raul Diego, and this is according to Whitney, but I have no idea. There's no fucking reason why she would bullshit me on this. Raul Diego's in Mexico, didn't have a bank account, was using a PayPal account and PayPal debit card in lieu of a bank in Mexico. But as of November 30th, all of the PayPal shit was set to expire. Now, this is days before what Raul has referred to on Twitter as a hack. He had expressed stress about this, as we're going to see in a series of screenshots from a WhatsApp conversation between Whitney and Raul. Whitney offered to give him $2,000 because she felt like there were probably a couple of things that he hadn't been fully paid up on throughout the course of their working relationship. And again, this is all days before that. Prior to that, she had been paying him directly out of her PayPal to his. So she offered to pay out of the Rockfin account. And then, as I have realized myself, came to the conclusion that, like, this is a little bit over my head and I might need some help with it. So Josh,
bring up?
Huh?
Bring up slides?
Yeah. Let's start with the initial WhatsApp conversation.
That's up.
And why the fuck am I not getting the one that I want? Oh, probably because this did it backwards. And I should probably pull up the chat and whatnot and the actual YouTube show to see where we're at and what's on the screen, because, you know, professional.
We're so good at
okay. So this is just the reason that I'm showing this is because well, I mean, it's fucking primary source evidence of what happened, but it's Whitney and Raul trying to figure out what they're going to do about getting money out of Rockfin. And I want to make it perfectly clear that Rockfin has done absolutely nothing wrong here. Rockfin went out of their way to conduct an internal investigation for Whitney. I have an email from the CEO of Rockfin stating this and the conclusions of that investigation. Everything they've done has been on the up and up. There was a little bit of confusion about that in Jason Burmis's chat earlier, and I certainly hope that we can put that to rest. So the field in white is Raul. The field in green is Whitney. So she's saying she did make a Bitcoin wallet. Raul says, I just discovered that all the Ray, which is what Rockfin pays out in, is in the Coinbase wallet that I set up with Scott. And this right here is the first time that Whitney is made aware of any of this. That Scott, as per Rockfin always does, has you set up a Coinbase wallet, because she wasn't a part of that conversation. So why would she fucking know?
And just for content, the way the Coinbase wallet works is that shit's on your device. So like if it's set up on his device, she has no fucking control over that. Just a FYI. Yeah.
So Raul becomes the sole individual that can manipulate, move, transfer, work on the crypto exchange, any of that shit. So she says, I guess I'll leave a chunk of the Bitcoin in your wallet and that'll be for you, and send the rest of the one I made. Can send you that stuff in an hour. Let's go to the next one. We actually don't need that one. It's just blown up a little bit. Third one.
There's 15K.
Okay, so yeah, 15.8 Ray. How much do I send you? She says, don't I owe you for a few podcasts, blah, blah, blah. At this point, everything seems to still be jovial. He asks for a random number of what Raul gets. On the next slide or on the next screenshot, that conversation continues. She says, is 2K US dollars worth of Ray okay for you? I don't think I can just send any. You have to make the Ray Bitcoin first. You can't send anything to me until it's Bitcoin. Okay. So the process seems to be Ray to Ethereum, which is true, and then to whatever else. In order to spend your Ray tokens, you have to convert them into Ethereum, and then you can further play on the crypto exchange. This is all like largely beyond me too.
Yeah, so
can we go to the next one?
Yeah, real quick, the way the conversion works is you have to move the Ray tokens over to Ethereum, and then you have to move the Ethereum over to Bitcoin. So it's like a it's like a 3-step process basically.
Okay.
So are we okay? We're on the next one. So this is them discovering all of that. Whitney thanks him for taking care of this. We can at this point jump to the next one.
That's the one with the pictures?
So here's a screenshot. Huh?
The one with the pictures, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's a screenshot of Raul sending her a picture. It says, okay, so I managed to move a chunk into the Coinbase exchange. So as soon as it clears, I'll do that, but it's pending. It does that for up to a day. And I want you guys to pay special attention to this balance number here. The 0.0038515 Ethereum, because that's going to come into play. So what we have so far is a conversation between Whitney and the dude that she had just stopped working with about how to best settle up. There's confirmation that Raul on his own was successfully able to move a minute amount of Ethereum that had already been converted from Rockfin's Ray tokens. And shortly after that, Whitney discovers that there's not but $6,000 left in her unlimited hangout account. So $10,000 in crypto, in US dollars, 10,000 US dollars in crypto. That's probably a better way of saying it. Was gone, just gone. So she started talking to Rockfin because at this point, Raul is no longer responding to her messages. So upon discovery, he stopped communicating with her. They're sniping a bit now on Twitter, and Raul, I hope you're watching. I do. Because maybe this will put to rest the bullshit mudslinging that you've been doing. I'm going to go ahead and open up, and Josh, if we could go to the update email.
Is that the one with the ledger shit?
Yes. Yeah, it says it's regarding update.
I can't tell what it's fucking called.
Okay. So this ledger that you see up here is the blockchain is what was moved around. Oh, that's just the image. I wanted the email.
Oh, the actual
Sorry.
email.
Yeah, the from Jamie to Whitney.
Yeah. There it is.
Okay.
It's about, there it is. Yeah, it's showing now.
So that blocked out part's just the ledger. I wasn't sure if it was safe to put that in there, so I left it out.
No, that's okay. So after a further initial internal investigation, we're 99.9% sure that is what happened. He, meaning Raul, stole the funds. I've been getting all the evidence together from our end and was about to put all the facts together in writing to you. Feel free to share this with whomever you want, including Mint Press News. Here's the summary of the facts as is enumerated in the image below and recorded on the blockchain, and the order is important. The first transaction was a small amount, about $5 transaction of Ethereum. He sent to a particular address, which we'll later see gets 18 Ethereum or $10,000. These small amounts are usually done to test that the transaction works. The two transactions of 5,000 Ray tokens each are converted into Ethereum using the exchange, which we just discussed. 18.07 Ethereum are sent to this address according to the block from the address that was used by Raul. He has very little Ethereum left. This is the address, an additional blah. So we've got the original test going out. And again, at this point, it's probably critical to remind everyone that the only person with access to the Coinbase wallet whatsoever is the person that set it up with Scott from Rockfin. In this case, that's Raul Diego. He's the only person that could have manipulated a fraction of a cent out of that room. Out of the Coinbase wallet, because it was on his device and his device alone. I know this for a fact because I went through the exact same process when I got accepted on Rockfin. It's on your phone and only on your phone, and a bitch to try and get onto your desktop because me and Sleepy Josh tried. It's a pain in the ass.
It's a giant ass pain.
But
it doesn't just fucking disappear either. So
no,
I want to make that really fucking clear.
Can we go
that one with the numbers on it? I think it's the last one. This one. It's got the proxy and shit in there.
Let me double check. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a.
Oh no, I meant the last email. I'm sorry.
I think I only. You're gonna have to. I don't have that one. I only have the other.
Oh, the one that says Whitney Webb's Ray tokens. I sent it to you.
I may have not
Do I
seen.
have to screen share it? I'm not going to screen share it because it's got everybody's fucking addresses on it. I will put up I'll put up a version of this that doesn't have people's private emails on it.
It must have it probably collapsed in that thread that you sent me, so I didn't see it. My bad.
So broadly, CEO of Rockfin, sends an email to the managing editor of Mempress News. I can't remember Minar's last name. I can't. At any rate, he says, hey, Minar, Whitney asked me to send you the evidence we have on our side. I'm not a judge, nor will I try to be. All of you are investigative journalists, so I'll let you get to your own conclusions. One of the beautiful things about blockchain technology is that everything is recorded online publicly for everyone to see and cannot be edited or changed. Whitney earned about 15.8 Ray tokens on Rockfin, worth close to 18 grand US dollars. These tokens were held in a digital wallet on Raul's mobile device. As you may know, digital wallets hold an encrypted unique hash key that the blockchain uses to validate the sending and receiving of tokens. That means the only way to move those tokens to another address is for someone with access to that device, not the laptop, but the mobile device. Let's now look at the transactions that happen on the blockchain. And this is just Jaime explaining what happened on that on the image we just showed of the ledger that is straight up. Like, you guys can go look at that because it's on a blockchain ledger. If a hacker hacked his phone from it, okay, so Raul said in his email to Whitney and myself, being Jaime, and I quote, I had managed to transfer about 2/3 of the Ray into Ethereum. Then he claims he was hacked. If a hacker hacked his phone from a remote location, he must have done it at the same time that Raul was transferring the Ray tokens to Ethereum. It's unusual for hackers to send small test transactions. Usually that's done by someone unfamiliar, unsure if it'll work. It's also unusual for hackers to steal crypto in this way, remote access, if even possible. There's still about $6,000 in Ray tokens left on Whitney's original address. Rockfin asked Raul to send those tokens to Whitney's new address, which obviously she created with Scott after all of this happened. But he said he can't access them anymore and lost a 12-word passphrase used in blockchain to recover when passwords are forgotten. And then offers to schedule a meeting or provide any further assistance if Minar has questions. I look, man, Ryan Christian, Last American Vagabond, alluded to this on a live stream the other day when he said there's a special place in hell for people who rob single mothers. And in this case, that place in hell looks to be reserved for Raul Diego. Glory, you're smart. What do you make of all this?
I think whatever Raul is trying to chat, it's shit and complete like bull crap. There's already so many holes in the story. Like, how the hell could why the flying fuck would a hacker make a small test transaction? That shit makes no fucking sense. And like, really, dude, you can't just own up to it? Who? Now, not being nice, go choke on a sack of dicks, Raul, and throw yourself into the ocean until you maybe, feel a bit of remorse for what you did, because you're a massive fucking douche cunt for that shit. Okay? And like, the proof's against you. Anybody with a brain can see that. And I don't even know that well how the, Ray token to Ethereum to Bitcoin chain works. I don't know much about that, but I can look at evidence and deduce shit for my fucking self.
It's clear. It's
Shit.
from what I've seen of it. It's pretty fucking clear from the ledger. So you can't change the ledger. You just can't. That's why the blockchain fucking works like it works. It's an immutable ledger. You can't change anything on there. His claims of hacking are so full of shit.
It's fucking the hubris, just the utter audacity of this shit.
Oh, so for Jilly Love, who just said Raul must prove he didn't by showing his wallet, conveniently, Raul can't do that because he has lost the 12-word passphrase that we all have to come up with when every single one of us who has a Rockfin channel has the initial meeting with Scott to set up our Coinbase wallet. And look, man, again,
that doesn't matter. The ledger is not stored on his wallet. Like, that's public.
No,
like, period.
No, that's not what I'm. No, she's asking to see his wallet.
That's not going to show you the transactions, though. That's just going to show you what's in it.
Yeah, and again, and that'll show the like $6,000 or so because it's still the old address.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I mean, when you have that meeting with Scott, he makes you put your Coinbase wallet on your phone.
I mean, he got into the wallet to transfer the 10. Like, I don't buy his losing his password bullshit.
And look, dude, even if you did, because I'll grant that maybe he didn't know how to move the no, sorry, that's just wrecking the account. It's getting caught. You were gonna move some more later. You got busted. So rather than cop to it, you make it so Whitney can't access that $6,000 at all. So now she has a new address. She has Coinbase on her device, and she is the only person who can access it. Just like I'm the only person who can access the Coinbase wallet that's on my phone, because most of you couldn't get into my phone. Hopefully. I've got some decent encryption on my phone. At any rate, Josh, what's your take on all of this? And then we can take a little break and set up the mod panel.
I mean, I think he's full of shit. I think he fucking ripped her off. I mean, I want to look at the whole ledger and go through it, like that whole transaction history, but it ain't looking good for him from the little I've seen. I don't buy the hacking claim. Like, that's so.
Why would a hacker leave $6,000?
They wouldn't.
Why would a hacker only send himself $5 to make sure it went through first?
They wouldn't.
Either it's gonna work or it's not.
Yeah, you don't test hack something and then go hack something.
The only time.
Let's pull. Yeah. Can we pull up the ledger one more time real quick before we go to the break?
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay. I mean, this is all within hours, and sometimes the transactions happen within minutes of each other after that initial test.
And I also want to add too, like, I mean, this isn't just some, like, I might believe something fucked up if they just didn't have parted ways. Like, that's just too fucking convenient, dude.
Kimberly S. So Raul is part owner of Rockfin. No, I'm sorry if that got mixed up. Raul Diego helped Whitney co-write a few articles in the Engineering Contagion series. He helped bring about unlimitedhangout.com, managed your website, and managed the Rockfin channel. And again, I'm responsible for Whitney Webb being on Rockfin. I wrote the original introduction email to Jaime and to Whitney, and had to CC Raul on this because Raul was providing Whitney with tech assistance. So I personally know that not only does Raul not have anything to do with Rockfin, it was incumbent on Whitney going to Rockfin that her tech dude came along with her in the conversation. And again, I know because I'm the guy who got them on Rockfin.
He's basically their Sleepy Josh. He was.
Yeah.
Sleepy J is way better than that piece of shit.
Yeah, I have actual morals.
Yeah.
I don't steal from people.
And with that, we're gonna break for about we're gonna have a break screen up for a couple of minutes while we get the Slow News Day wrench gang up in here for our the actual reason we were gonna have a show today, which is our moderator chat, which has been just so much fucking fun.
Fuck
So
you, Raul.
please stick around for that. We're definitely going to go into this in a little bit more detail, and we got lots of other stuff to talk about.
All right, give me 1 second. And you're back.
What's on
All
the
right.
agenda?
So, welcome back to Slow News Day. We're ready to fucking talk some shit, and we've got an incredible moderator panel. I'm doing the serious reach for my weed pen. That's what that was. So why don't we go around the panel, introduce yourselves as you would like to be introduced. You don't have to give up any information that you don't want to. Welcome back to y'all that have been on before, and welcome, please, Tony. Yeah, let's do this.
Good morning. Okay.
And what's your name, sir?
My name is Rob Juno, and I play guitar to kill motherfuckers. That's what I do. I got a website that's slowly getting built, and trying to get my shit together to do a regular podcast where I'll be doing talking and playing for all you lovely people.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Amen.
I will be your first subscriber.
You're awesome, Josh. Thank you.
Ant, go ahead.
You guys already know me, Anthony Reyes, in the chat talking shit. And glad to be here. Glad to meet Tony. Damn, Tony, I didn't know you had that Southern hospitality accent in you. That's I like that accent.
Yeah, Tony, where are you coming in from?
Where?
Yeah.
Trinidad, Texas.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Like you needed.
I fucking there's a lot of people that are down on Texas and that make fun of Texas and shit. But I'll tell you what, man, I spent anywhere from 2.5 months to like 6 months out of my year in between Houston and Dallas when I was doing Renaissance festivals, and fuck, dude, I loved it. I did. I had almost always had a great time in Texas.
I think it's crossing over or something.
Huh? What was that?
What is it?
The audio's crossing over.
Oh, weird. Maybe turn you down a little bit, or grab some headphones if you have them, or something like that. I don't know, man.
Yeah, the headphones help, Tony.
I'm not hearing any echo on mine. Is everybody?
Yeah,
everybody
no,
got
me
their-
either.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Make sure if you're watching on YouTube as well, make sure that's muted.
Yeah, I'm muted. I got mine muted.
I don't hear any echo on my end though.
That's cool.
Well, you got it. All right.
That's cool.
I'm just so glad to be in the same room as everybody. How you all doing? How y'all doing?
Good,
I want to
good.
get some thoughts from you guys on what we just went over and what we just got to disclose here.
I don't have any kind thoughts for you, Steve.
I didn't say kind thoughts, Rob. Just
Hey, Rob, did you hear what I said?
Well,
I'm on this channel, Rob. You don't have to hold back.
I think Raul ought to get run over a couple of times just to wake him up.
Wow.
All right.
I've known some credit card scammers in my day. They don't try a $5 deposit. They take $1,500 or more out. Like, if they can take the whole thing out, why would he have to do it twice? A hacker.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being too quick to judge, but it just feels all wrong. It feels all wrong.
No, I agree. Look, man, I
feel your pain, Steve, because it's like you brought her to Rockford, so like you're trying to make it right yourself too. Like you're not gonna you're gonna make sure it wasn't Rockford's fault. So like you're doing.
No, and I'm really glad it wasn't. Like it was never really in my mind that Rockfin ripped her off. Like and then getting the emails and getting the WhatsApp conversation that just put me over the edge. Like I wasn't in any way, shape, or form thinking Rockfin had anything to do with it. But I didn't know until I got this information that Raul was the dude who had set up the Coinbase wallet. And I know from experience, because I'm on Rockfin, like how all of that works. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the only person who has access to the Coinbase on their mobile device is that person with the fucking phone. Nobody else has that account. Nobody. It's not, you can't make it a shareable account.
Yeah, his story's Swiss cheese.
Yeah, it's like it's so suspect.
It's
like,
falling apart all over the place.
Anyone that knows even like preliminary, like has preliminary knowledge of fucking blockchain shit, like it don't work like that. Like it's I know enough about it to use it and shit, and I don't know why the fuck he needed to control it if he didn't know how to use it. Personally, that's shady to me.
It's also shady how he never told Whitney that he was the sole controller of those funds. You know what I mean?
I wish Whitney would have talked to me, dude.
Anybody, yeah, her neighbor could have been more fair than this guy.
Think about it, dude. This is the guy who helped her build out her website. This is the dude who helped her with the engineering
Inside Track,
articles, helped her with her podcast. Like, this is somebody that she obviously trusted.
Yeah.
And again, like, she wasn't going to come to Rockfin unless I had included Raul in these initial conversations with the Rockfin team. And I want to make this perfectly clear, man. Like, this isn't me. I'm not feeling bad for me about any of this.
Nah, I didn't feel it like that either.
I don't think that I've ever talked about, like, I'm the reason Whitney's on Rockfin, because it sounds kind of self-aggrandizing, you know, and I don't really roll that way.
No, definitely.
Not my thing. Like, I've got some kind of pull or something, you know. And I got approached by Rockfin CEO. He said, "Could you please ask?" I said, "I can please ask, but I can't guarantee anything." And then it worked out in their favor. And to be perfectly fair, it worked out in my favor too. I got tipped out $100 from Rockfin for getting Whitney on there. Normally it's $10, but if you bring in a high profile creator through the referral program, they can compensate you a little bit better. And I did. I got paid $100 to get Whitney on the thing. And I got Sam Tripoli on Rockfin too. And you know.
Yeah, you're a good recruiter.
Okay, Steve.
It's so weird, dude. It's so fucking weird. Like, this channel's hella small. I know it's not reflective, and I know that, like, just solely based on
got pulled.
We've managed on this show to have some incredible fucking conversations with people I never would have imagined that I'd be able to get. But once I got Cynthia McKinney to say yes when we had like 70 fucking subscribers, I'm like, okay. You know, not only will I do anybody's show because of that, but like I'll fucking, you know,
the first stepping stone, yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, what do you think, man?
I'm trying to figure it out because I think I had 2 or 3 things going, and it was Rockfin was still open, and I heard Steve talking, and I heard everybody talking at the same time. I'm saying, what the crap, man? I think I figured it out.
Yeah, I do that on accident sometimes. It goes hell.
Now I'm trying to get back to the main thing.
Oh, there's plenty of times when I forget that I've got something open with volume on.
That's what happened to me.
That happens frequently. It's trying to happen right now since I've opened up Rockfin.
Yeah, it was. I had to turn off my, turn on, turn it down, mute it, Rockfin, and I can hear y'all clearer now. Cool. I'm trying to figure out what I did because I lost the screen when I had everybody on there. Now I clicked on Josh's picture, then I
Oh,
don't have to see everybody else.
if you click
Oh,
it,
you.
if you
If
go
you
to,
go to the on the
Yeah.
right hand on the bottom of the screen, there's like 4 little squares, and if you click on that, it'll go back to the Brady Bunch sort of
There it is.
screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Good to see you, Rob,
Nice
Anthony,
to see you too, Tony.
Lori, Steve, and
Nice to
Josh.
see you too, all of you. I love you guys. You have no idea how important to my brain you have become.
Aw.
You
Aw,
are the
man.
best neurotherapy. I'm telling you.
Man, you're the greatest, Rob.
Rob
You're
cracks me
awesome,
up.
Rob.
You. I'm
Agreed.
just throwing it back, man. I'm trying to put back what I'm collecting. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Just trying to give back, baby.
Aw, you're the best, Rob.
Oh no, it's serious. You have no idea. Okay, I'm gonna try to be real transparent here. 12 years ago, I got my skull caved in. I don't want to hurt anybody with my injuries, but the right front corner of my head got caved in like an egg that got dropped off a table.
Oh man.
I'm supposed to be a dead man. According to the books, they told me people that come in presenting like this come in normally either dead or comatose. So we're glad to be getting any feedback at all. Now shut up so we can get to work. They put my eye back in my head sideways because that was the only way to anchor the steering muscles. And so for 6 years after that, now this happened at age 50, there was not a good chance that I was going to come out of it anywhere near sane. And they were right.
Meh.
But
For the better of the
That's
whole
good.
country. Yeah.
the point is, I can now walk and talk. I have relearned to walk and talk.
That's a
And
blessing.
friends
Yeah.
just bought me a guitar because we've discovered that playing guitar is really good for the old melon.
Yeah.
Dexterity.
I wouldn't know. I never learned.
Yeah, I want to learn
That's
too.
good.
I'm slowly getting some chops.
Tony, you're actually required by Texas state law to know how to play at least 3 chords.
Man, I was born violating Texas law.
No,
my brother, when he was alive, he always used to say, whenever I move to Texas and become governor, my first official proclamation is that Robert Earl Keen has to have a mandolin player with him at all times. Which I realize is a niche joke, but there was also going to be a proclamation that James McMurtry had to have a piano player with him at all times. And if you're unfamiliar with the music of either Robert Earl Keen or James McMurtry, you should go hip yourself a little bit. They're good. They're fantastic fucking storytellers. In fact, James McMurtry's father is Larry McMurtry, who wrote like Lonesome Dove and all the other fucking classic Western novels and shit like that. At any rate, that's my severe digression for the moment.
Yeah. So I'm just going to pick back up now, and I'm going to tell you the end of the story as far up to today. So in the last 6 or so years, I've been relearning to see at the same time. Because for the first while, if I turned the good eye to the left, the other guy was going to go straight up. There was no way to find any balance.
Oh man.
And so I was a garden slug for a while. But I dragged myself back through some online courses, and it dawned on me that 2008 shit started really kicking up for Julian, and it kicked up for me too. And so the way this happened was a long beam came down on me, took me through a step ladder, and bounced like a big pencil a couple of times.
Oh man.
Damn.
And it was a wake up.
Dude, you give me a headache with that.
Listen now, you got to hear the end of the story, all right? You got to hear the end of the story. Truth is, it's probably the best thing that ever could have happened to me. My old man hated my guts my whole life. As soon as he found out about it, he said, well, maybe it knocked some sense into him. And this has been the consensus of everyone I've spoken to since. I'm only able to communicate better now as a result of having a whole bunch of RAM taken out. And now I'm like normal, you know? So instead of scaring people with my brain, I'm welcoming them into my life. And this is the thing that has made the difference. So I can't be arguing with good fortune now, can I? Now I'm trying to use my good fortune to help Julian. That's what I'm here for. That's
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yes.
I can relate to that, man. I've been in the bonus round really since my early 20s, but definitely since I was 28. And when you're in the bonus round, you get to I guess pick and choose what you're going to dedicate yourself to, like in a way that's a little bit more liberating, or liberated, I guess is the right word, than otherwise. Yeah, there's no good reason I should be alive, but I'm glad I am. I'm glad you're here, Rob. That's an adorable kitty cat.
Aww.
Yeah, this is Mr. Growly.
Cute.
As a cute cat.
Yeah, he
Growly.
adopted me. He's an erstwhile feral cat that adopted me.
Wow.
Cute.
I need one of those. We're not allowed to have pets at our house, but I need to like leave food out for a fucking feral kitty.
Just make sure he's okay now and then, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, every now and then he trusts me, and the rest of the time I'm the enemy.
It's fucking hilarious. He didn't look all that pissed off, man. I gotta say.
No, he likes to sleep on me now.
All right.
But if what is being done to Assange is legal, there are no laws worth following.
That's accurate as fuck.
And that leaves us with a problem. How the fuck do you organize legally in a place where law don't matter?
That's a fair point.
It has to be imposed.
I don't have a good answer for that. I don't, but I also don't I'm not one who routinely checks with the local constabulary on the particular ordinances of the place that I'm at as to whether or not I'm going to be violating any laws. I just sort of show up and do my thing, and hopefully nobody gets arrested or hurt. And if that happens, you know, we're successful in that, then it was a successful event. Kind of my thoughts about it. Yeah.
Man, protests aren't supposed to be like convenient for the law, though. They're supposed to be like disruptive and making people uncomfortable. And it's like, you know, God bless Action for Assange and all, but like, I would never get a fucking permit. Like, but that's just the way I think. I'm like,
it's not in my DNA.
So Andrew's got this whole like reverse psychology theory that if he goes through and does everything like the right way, then we're going to be the last people that they look at. And I suppose there's some merit to that. I suppose there is. You know, it's just so far out of my comfort zone that I don't deal with any of it.
Yeah.
So I'm very fortunate and glad that Andre there takes that all on his lonesome to do, because I can't see me writing fucking 3 separate emails for every event that we were going to have in DC in September. No. Well, because there's multiple jurisdictions. I don't know if you guys know this or not.
Kill me.
But yeah, in DC, there's the regular DC police. There's the Capitol Police. The Capitol has their own police force. It's only their jurisdiction is only in the blocks around the Capitol building. And then there's the Park Service, because so many of these locations in DC are historical landmarks and shit like that. that they're ran by the Park Service. So if you're going to have a protest in Washington, D.C., you don't know if you're going to wind up. You may, and we have been on all three jurisdictions for the same fucking event.
And you
So
had
you-
to fly.
Crazy.
So in triplicate, you have to write out these emails as part of the permit process, and I'm just not that dude.
I couldn't even maintain the address book, man. But I got a question for y'all. So it's 2020, everything is corrupt, and mere organizing would already have been done if that's all it took. Something else is needed. What? What is needed?
We need the elites to fight each other, like in the outward way.
Huh? That's already
I
going
think-
on in the inward way, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
Rob, I'm not going to have you say the N word on this show.
Oh Lord, that was bad. That was like a
You're
dad joke,
all welcome, and I'm not sorry.
dude. That was a, when did you start telling dad jokes, man? Come on.
I'm the fucking dad.
But I've never heard you tell a dad
You
joke,
don't think I got like a full Rolodex of those motherfuckers just at hand?
man. I've never heard you
Oh
spout one
my
out.
god.
In a
Like
year.
14 years rolling on this shit, man.
Oh my god.
Steve, listen up. You don't know how good for the whole world you are, man.
Yo, he doesn't. He doesn't.
You're
Sure.
good for a whole planet. All by yourself, you're good for a whole world, man.
National treasure.
That's right. Global.
You're gonna make him blush, dude. Y'all gonna make him blush and shit.
Let's
Tell
make
him,
him
buddy.
blush, guys.
He is. He's red. Look at him.
Steve,
He's fucking
I'm not
red.
good on you.
I guess you did.
He
He bailed
fell
out.
back.
Now
He
you really
bailed
are
out.
pissed, baby.
God damn, y'all.
Yeah, now you
No,
got-
what I'd like to take a stab at answering that question though. What I think's been missing, and it's been a problem that we've encountered from the get go, is the joining of voices that across the board, across the spectrum, in their own ways, independently, that advocate for Julian, for free speech, for a removal of or serious reform to the Espionage Act as a political weapon, and if we're going to and people may disagree that that's what's missing, but it's what I do believe is missing, and it's why Kendra and I have started or are starting this thing called the First Freedoms Society, which seeks to bring all those independent voices together so that everyone from every conceivable corner has one place to congregate with one unified message, even if we can't stand each other, even if we don't agree with anything else that another person says. We recognize that this thing has to be protected, has to be defended, has to be enforced. We have to
That's right, yeah.
enforce the First Amendment. And if we're not, we're almost too late. Like, honestly, we're almost too late. But what this project seeks to do is to pull in people that wouldn't ordinarily work together, that don't even necessarily like each other, or agree with each other on anything but this one issue, and to as a collective of individuals take a massive stand for that.
Hang on for a sec, Steve. What do you think, Tony?
Sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking that a genuine exercise of the will of the people is called for.
Right.
Not just the words, not just the slogans or
Exactly.
the memes, the actual fact, you know, where the people make it clear who is working for who. a general strike, for example, where everybody says, okay, this has obviously gone on long enough. We have to put a stop to it.
I
So it
agree.
is effectively a stop.
I mean, we got to throw everything, including the kitchen sink and all the shit that we shook out of the pipes, ripping out the kitchen sink out of whatever. Like, I agree. Like, whatever it is, whatever your thing is, whatever you're good at, or whatever you found that you're effective in, throw that at these motherfuckers. You have to. You have to. Like, especially if
A lot of old ladies are scared it's all going to turn into blood and moaning. And a lot of other old ladies
There's
are ready.
already been bloodshed.
There's already blood. Yeah.
There's already blood. Like, it's not that there's going to be blood, it's that there's already blood, but people just can't see it.
They can't see it.
True.
They're caught up in the revenge trip, right?
Yeah.
The endless
There's a
cycle.
lot of
You get
distractions.
me, you. And what we're not doing is thinking, okay, just for a second, just imagine the computational equivalent of all the human brain power in the world. Imagine if there was some magical thing, a new invention, that was able to collapse all of our intelligence into one little chip and figure out all the equivalent brain power of 8 billion or so brains. I can't imagine any problem that if we put in front of 8 billion brains, we wouldn't find some way to crack it.
True.
And so this is the kind of thing that's finally become available
That sounds like Neuralink.
in the mind. No. This is all participatory. It's what you can do, not what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
It's the essential difference. If you let me do what I can do, I'm happy to do it every fucking day. But if you tell me this is what I have to do, I'm going to resist all the way. I have a problem with authority. I'll admit it. It bugs me.
hey, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I said as much earlier today when Danny was on. It's what I told the military recruiters when they rolled up to my house. Like, I have a problem with authority. I know this
right off the bat.
I mean, you look at the people that have the most authority.
Problem.
I mean, you look at the people with the most authority.
They told me I had
and they're
a
the
problem
biggest
with
criminals.
authority.
Come on, Josh, hit me again. What are you telling me?
I don't have a problem with them.
I mean,
I don't have a problem with authority. I just don't like them.
I mean, my problem with authority is they're
problem.
People with authority are doing more crimes than the people without.
So as long as I have to try to persuade you non-violently, it becomes essential that I be able to lie to you. And that's not going to work for people that love, like, honesty junkies like us, man. What I love about Steve is there's nobody in between what he's thinking and me.
There's no muzzle. There's no muzzle.
It comes right
exactly.
and I get it. You know, that's the important part, right? The other shit I don't get, and I have to do it. It makes no sense. I'm gonna bail as soon as I can.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna happen. Not for me. I'm not gonna participate. As soon as I realize I'm doing wrong on somebody else, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing and have a look. Is this true? If so, how do I repair the damage I caused? You know? If not true, get the fuck out of the way. There's work to be done. It's just how I'm built.
People understand that. I wish that was a more common sentiment because it's hard. It's really hard and it's tiring and it's annoying.
Glory, I want to remind you, I had to come at this from the bottom up a number of times in my life, right? And so this last time through, I'm getting a little tired of the repetition, and I want to see an essential difference made. And so far, every fucking time I see you guys talking with the passion and the beauty that you contain and you express and you share, I'm reminded that this is the same thing that's going on with each of my little busted neurons, trying to build a new pathway to the neighbor and say, "How you doing? This is what I'm about. I'm all about. This is what I can do. What do you do? How can we get better? You know?" And since it's all doing, I see the same basic pattern all around me, where the people have encountered a difficulty and come together to at least improve their state following that thing, right? And this idea of the constant improvement was supposed to have been baked into the cake, but the Constitution has been outweighed by a whole lot of money on one side and a whole lot of fear and laziness on the other. And that's very convenient if you want things to stay the way they are, but we can't have that and still have a planet worth speaking of. So we have to impose this. We have to, it's not so much being forced on to something, it's a natural state that is not allowing whatever it is to intrude, right? And so it's a different state of mind that you come at this with. You look at it and you go, okay, this is the pattern. All this really needs is a better idea. And that's really cheap in terms of real estate and logistics, you know. That really doesn't cost a lot in terms of effort. Oh, it's like 2 brain cells have to move a little bit this way and bang, the whole new possibility exists, you know. So when I think about it in terms of the physical cost of the exercise, it's very cheap. When I look at the result of the political shift that occurs, it's very large. And this is a good combination. I like to see it this way, you know, where a small effort produces a large result. The transistor effect, in effect. And so this is what encourages me. And I see this building every time you talk. Every time I listen to Steve go on a rant, or Josh break in with something that cannot be repressed, or Anthony make some wisecrack about somebody, and it's like 4 words that it would take me 4 paragraphs to even come close to, you know? It's genius to me. And I do love your balls, Glory. I love it when you get pissed off and you start yelling at me. Like, how the fuck can you not understand? This is wrong! God damn it! You know?
The glory rant.
You go,
Perfect.
Glory.
It's perfect. So I'm happy to encourage whatever. Now, I've had some setbacks in the last couple of months that have forced me into a slightly different mode of operation, but I'm still 100% committed to Julian getting out of that place and getting at least restored, you know, as much as possible, right away, right the fuck away, you know, right now. No way.
He should be compensated. I mean,
Hard, really, really hard for a long time. His whole
people need to go to jail for that.
Everybody's
Yeah.
insane. All of us, really. All of us need compensation for this.
Yeah.
I know what they putting him through is
It's killing all of us. And that's the whole point. That's why they're doing it. So fuck them.
Agreed.
Yeah.
yeah.
Feel like I feel like you spoke for a lot of us just now, Rob.
Indeed.
Yes, Rob.
Yo, Rob, it's so good to see you animated, man. You're always the wise wizard in the chat. It's good to see
damn it. The old cane is swinging, man.
It's when you like just never stop.
What happened to Josh?
That keeps you young. I'm still here.
Doing what I can, man. Thank you very much.
Josh is here. He just never has his webcam on, so we can't see his beautiful face.
Everybody in the chat too, man.
Yo, best chat on
I
YouTube.
love you so much.
Yes.
Yeah, kicking my cam on.
I enjoyed the chat.
It makes the stream too damn slow because my internet kind of sucks.
Sometimes I see some idiots coming in there. I guess idiots, just people with
Radically different views.
yeah.
Yeah, if an Axel ever does come in here, y'all like chase him off. It's fucking amazing.
Hey, someone
Uh,
hit up Red Sea, see if that's.
Who's that?
I think it's Red Sea that's trying to get in.
Please.
wait a second.
Hello,
Dang.
I know.
Mr.
There.
Person.
She's muted. Whoever it is.
I'm just high enough for this to be entertaining.
Hey,
Well, it's a
that ain't a bad
it-
idea.
there's only so many people that have this link, so you know.
So who could it be exactly?
It's got to be
And
Red Sea.
what did you have? You said
Oh,
you
you
had
had
Alright.
stories.
So I was gonna cover. I was just something that Danny was talking about, like with Woodrow Wilson and the irony of Obama being the president, like that abused the Espionage Act, and like I just had a story about what he did, like with his presidency and Uber, and like the servitude gig economy we have now, and like what Biden and Harris is the same playbook. They're doing it on steroids, and it was basically, where do I start? Basically, like they didn't think Trump was gonna win when Hillary was running, so they cooked like Tom Hartman's Padawan, Richard Wolf. Everybody goes, "There's a crash coming. There's a crash coming." Like we feel it in our bones. Like people that are in this every day, we know there's a crash coming. Back in the day, like 2018, 2017, but we couldn't. Like everybody's like, "No, man, look at these numbers. 95% of the jobs under the 10 million jobs Obama created were gig economy jobs, and it continued under Trump. And fucking Trump goes on and does the tax cut, and then we get COVID. COVID looks like it was like this is gonna go down with or without Trump in office. That's what it's looking like to me. Like this just seems like a long scale. Like it's like the monarchy. It's basically like they're bringing the money. Like nobody has a real job. You're depending on the state that is terrible. It's not this isn't communist. This is a terrible ass state with all these bootlickers. Like for instance, like Biden and Harris. Harris has a brother-in-law named Tony West, who was a DOJ appointee for Obama administration. Now he's Uber's top lawyer. Like it's just the revolving door that these people have. Seth Harris, a former deputy labor secretary under Obama, wrote a paper in 2015 talking about how Uber drivers aren't actual employees. Now he's leading Biden's transition team. Rahm Emanuel's floated for transportation secretary, and his brother Ari Emanuel, who was played in the show Entourage as by Jeremy Piven, like he's a Hollywood agent, and he invested money in Uber in 2011 in the second round of investing, and he's probably made like over like 100 million off like this whole gig economy, and it's basically like there's no protections, like there's nothing going to the people working in this gig economy, and then you're gonna add a lockdown and a further losing of businesses, jobs. For instance, they had a program for ex-military to go into Uber and these type of gig economy jobs, and it's like this is what Obama set up for Clinton or Biden in 2016, which Trump took it under his reign, and he didn't make it any better. They orchestrated him to lose, and now we're stuck. Like we're back in 2016 again. Like nothing changed, except we have COVID on top of it, and people are way more broke. So I just wanted to drop that on you guys. See what you thought about that.
Broke and scared.
I fucking hate Obama. Like
He's
using
intersectionality. Like I didn't even I missed a lot of points. All of Eric Holder, whatever David Plouffe, they did a lot of makeup work for a lot of companies off the strength that they were in Obama's administration, and the media holds that administration in such a light where you just being associated with it makes you a positive. And
Anthony, paying attention.
Yeah.
like these, like, it's crazy. Like we weren't ready for I got this information from a guy that studies reparations, tone talks, and he's saying we were never ready for a black president, and they gave us the worst guy ever. Like he inherited a white man's debt, and then he destroyed black wealth with the crash of the mortgage crisis.
I mean, what'd you call him, Steve? Reagan with the tan? Isn't that what you got your ass fired?
Yeah, man, he's really that. That's really what he is.
I'm listening. I'll be right back.
I can't say it enough how much I hate Obama. And like, just like the disappointment, it's like often something that I'll get is just like, oh, you should be happy, man. He's the first black president. Like, doesn't that make you feel good? I'm like, no, it makes me feel even fucking worse to know that the first black president brought back fucking open slave markets to Libya and like decided to drink fucking Flint water. It's disgusting. And I'm like, I hate these people even more because they're women, because they're black, because they're brown. I hate them even more because of that. So like, fuck yourself, and so annoying.
Not only that, who better to sell the continued onslaught of war after Bush than Obama instead of Hillary or McCain? Like it was said, it was made in the heavens what these people did. Like they needed Obama because the EU was like, oh, like WikiLeaks showed all this. The EU was like starting to get cold feet. Like, listen, man, we're tired of these evangelical lunatics you had for 8 years. We lost trillions in this Iraq war and Afghanistan, and Obama was the sales pitch.
And they're like, "How's about you get the same wars?
Yeah,
but from a black guy with a Muslim name, and he's gonna start 5 new ones. How about that? Sound yummy? God."
But he's gonna play basketball too, Steve. Isn't that the thing? And he's gonna do a March Madness bracket every year when the tournament comes. And oh my god, just like
you went out there and slow jammed the news
for not being able to see through any of the fucking bullshit that he's put us through. And then it's like, because then you open a whole can of worms when you try to criticize him, and it's like, no, I fucking hate Obama because of what he did. And then it's like, oh man, you're just being a perfectionist. It's like, no, I'm fucking not. People died because of this cunt.
And it's crazy.
So, hey, real quick, to the person who just popped in, you got to unmute and at least, if not unmute, and turn your camera on. Otherwise, none of us are going to be able to hear or see you. In the center of your screen, there's a thing that looks like a microphone. You got to tap it so you can talk. And then to the right of the little red button that looks like a hang up, there's your video. And I see that you have your hand up, but I still don't know who you are. And
I'm pretty sure
so
it's red.
It's going to make shit rough.
I think it's red.
Is it Kevin?
I can't physically be in the location where you're at to unmute your shit.
Agent Kevin.
Hey, Steve.
Right?
Steve.
Huh.
What? Type something in the Jitsi chat. See if they can respond there. I can't
see what.
Why are you making me do? You fucking everybody. All right.
I can't do it on stream, man. I do it. I'd do it my damn self if I could. I ain't that fucking lazy. Come on now.
Okay, but I am.
I know you are.
Wow. You guys
look, you come out mid rant, Jitsi. I didn't even notice you come in, fellow Jitser.
This happened too when we had Monotalk and Redneck Economics on, and their homie popped in, and I was in the middle of like an entire mouthful of fuck you. It just had to be an awkward moment.
I know.
But yeah, yo, you still gotta unmute if you want anybody to hear you. Like I don't need.
It might be asking for permission to access the mic and
I
shit.
see it shows 7.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I don't
wait.
even know. I don't. But y'all, we do it live.
Do it live.
We do.
Hey, if we say it a bunch of times, I wonder if Burmis will show up.
Yeah, it's true. If you say we do it live 3 times, Jason usually shows up or has shown up before. It's just creepy.
If you go to settings, there might be an option to like,
Change your mic and shit.
Yeah, change your mic and stuff. Oh, I can bring. Oh snap! It's okay. I'm raising my hand in solidarity.
Yeah, it's her. She said she asked to speak. I think I saw something.
She should be able to speak.
I see fellow Gister on mine.
Yeah. Like we can't unmute you though.
Yeah.
You have to. Yeah, we can't unmute.
But I had a question for everybody in the chat. What's it called? So basically, you know how we had Cheney, Bush, and then the overarching, even Clinton, the overarching effects, Glass-Steagall telecommunications bill, whole bunch of fuckers, the NAFTA, Bush. We had the Iraq War, the TSA, war economy out in the open now. All these homeland security, Obama, what I just mentioned. What is Trump's overarching, like what are the consequences we're gonna have to deal with now? That is it just this red baiting that? What did Trump lead in, like what are gonna inherit from a Trump to Biden presidency?
Break it up, everybody.
An almost seamless transition from Russiagate to Chinagate.
To Chinagate, yeah.
Got to be one or the other, right?
What about you, Tony?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be one or the other. I think they're just
They're
gonna add
focused on Iran right now.
Why not both?
I mean, and they're gonna add, and they're gonna keep vilifying Iran too. I mean, that's
plus.
I keep on hearing
Ad
something at
nauseam.
my door. I'm always paranoid.
It's gonna be the nationalism that Trump and Trump's administration largely marketed, they didn't really practice. So in terms of like what's he going to add to it, there's not much because he was a caretaker.
Definitely.
And he's a caretaker of George H.W. Bush's policies, legacy, all of that shit. And we have to include the entirety of Reagan's presidency when we talk about George H.W. Bush.
There we go.
Hey there.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello,
everyone.
Hello.
I apologize. I was having some severe technical difficulties.
It's all good. I'm gonna. Hey,
Yes.
Steve, kick that other one.
Yep.
I don't have mod right now.
Yep.
Persistence pays off.
Woohoo!
It does sometimes.
Lovely to meet you in person.
Nice to
Lovely
meet you.
as well.
Finally, there's not
Make it.
there's not so many damn dudes in here now. So
Right.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Gloria and Red Sea can take over now.
with our Pan Africanness.
Nah, y'all
Yes,
just outspoken. And Glory's loud as fuck, so she's like 3 people.
Hey.
Nah, that's a compliment.
That Sleepy J.
That's a compliment. Come on now.
She has good stuff to say, so
That's right.
yeah. She has phenomenal stuff to say,
So
actually.
tell us about you then, please.
Oh, me. Oh my gosh. So my life is kind of weird right now. Kind of in the middle of a weird transition type of thing. I just moved. Yeah, like everyone, probably. Unless you're, doing really well. You're rich and you're doing really well. But I moved back from Hawaii. I'm back on the East Coast. Kind of putting school on hold for this semester and then going back. in January. But
What do you study?
kind of what I'm studying geopolitics and Chinese philosophy.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
that's what I'm up to. Yeah.
And I play guitar, or I used to play guitar for a living, but then I got my skull caved in, and then I realized Julian's getting fucked, and it's driving me crazy. So I want to make a change. So that's why I'm here.
That's such a great elevator pitch.
That tells how you really feel, Rob.
It really is.
That's fucking amazing, Rob.
I got some built-in Tarantino going on. It's crazy.
No, I feel that. I have a lot of problems with the American government. I'm from Eritrea originally, so I was born there, came here. I have like a socialist background.
I want to go to Africa one of these days so bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Hit me.
And Julian Assange did a lot for like just those everything that he like revealed. Like it's just it put a lot of things together for everyone because you can look things up and you're like, oh my god, that's what happens. Oh, that's where those sanctions came from. You know what I mean? It's like what the fuck?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just so we owe a lot to Julian Assange. A lot. Yeah.
We all do.
So.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
What drives your bus? What gets you excited? What wakes you up? What pulls you out of bed in the morning?
If you're just tuning in, this is Slow News Day hosted by Rob Juno.
I like the new host.
I like this too.
I love the new host.
Welcome to my head.
You're getting voted out, dude.
All y'all. Oh,
you stole my boy, Steve.
Door's wide open now. You come and go as you please. I'm here as long as I can.
Motherfuckers had me blushing. Now you're all fuck you. Get off your show.
Oh man,
never.
Steve, it's only because I love you.
Yeah,
your creation, Pop.
It's called
you made this happen.
It's tough love.
No, Steve, you're wonderful.
Sleepy
Steve.
Josh too. Sleepy Josh. Josh we trust. Don't forget about
Sleepy J, my salty hype man.
Dude, the nervous system.
You guys do a great show. Like truly, you do a phenomenal show. Seriously.
Shit, thanks.
So we should.
Not that my opinion means anything. But it's.
He tries.
From me.
Thank you very much.
We should, since we have some audience members here, we should ask if there's anything they want us to cover more, or someone.
Say that again, please. What was that, Josh?
I said since we have viewers on, we should find out if there's anything y'all want us to cover more or anything.
My earpiece fell out.
Oh shit. But yeah, what would you as audience members like to see us do on the show that maybe we aren't doing, or is there someone that I should be paying attention to that you haven't seen me? What can we do to make the show better?
One of the things that keeps surprising me is the resilience of the people who are taking part in the chat. So it's challenging for me to follow all of the ideas that are coming by at once. But I'm actually, by trying to do it, I'm healing my brain. And so this is critically important stuff to me. It's much more valuable to me than I think anyone realizes. So I always feel like I'm getting away with something every time I just watch. I don't even have to participate. Just watching you and listening to the ideas as they're happening and trying to keep up with it all, that's big workout for me. So imagine what this is. Man, I had to smoke 7 joints this afternoon just to settle down enough to be able to talk to you. I'm excited over here, And I'm trying to, I'm trying not to let all the people that love me down, I'm trying to.
You'd never let us down, Rob. Come on now.
You're the best, Rob. Don't worry about it.
I love y'all, and so I'm just grateful to be here. Happy to produce whatever I can to help.
Honestly, how do I put it to you, Steve? The way you do your show is already super unique. you're not covering
Good,
like what
baby.
you're not covering like what the latest dickwad on the Senate did, or
Yeah.
like who's running like. So like it's like you have like I'm sure like I'll think of something I can say like, but like at the top of my head right now, like just keep keep bringing that same energy, and now you got Glory, so she has this like very different perspective than you have, and then like but it works together. So I don't know, like honestly, it's just like it's cool watching you like transform Glory. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
she
just
transforming his
present
ass too.
I don't
stories
have fucking nothing to do with that, man. I don't.
Like, look, man. I mean, when Steve suggested that we have Glory and stuff, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah,
I
get
want to
Glory.
stay quiet on that one because I don't want you to get removed from YouTube.
But like,
Really,
dude,
because
bringing Glory on is probably the
I
best
guess my
decision we've
biggest
made.
concern, besides, pretty much most people know my view on what's going on.
with COVID. Yeah, with
Yeah.
COVID.
Oh, you feel like a brother to me, Tony.
Thank you.
I mean, it's not like we don't do the COVID shit. My feeling about it is that there's already some incredible channels doing just brain bending work on COVID.
Yeah.
So and I'm
Like if
I'm
you were
not-
being like a
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, it's
I was
just
just saying if you were being a toady, I would be like, yo, cover it a little bit more. But like you seem to have the grasp that like most of your fans have on COVID. Like we're not being bullshitted by it. So like I don't like you said, there's other people that present all these like great analysis and you're not presenting anything that goes against it. So I don't really think that's the lane you need to take right now.
no, and if it all possible,
Right.
I'll have those people on.
Yeah.
You know, like I
100.
mean, in my opinion, Ryan's doing the best work, hands down. Last American
Pound for pound.
Vagabond, it hands down doing the most comprehensive, thorough work on COVID. And I mean, dude, he's a fucking
Allow me to
homeboy. Like,
politely
come on,
disagree,
anytime
dear
he
sir.
wants to, huh?
Allow me to politely disagree, dear sir. I think you're doing
Okay.
a better job. That's why I'm here. This is what
Oh no, he's talking on the specific topic, Rob.
On COVID though.
I get it.
Like
We still
Ryan,
talk. We still talk about it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Back
But
to you,
yeah,
buddy.
like we try to elevate people that are doing the best work on that stuff, and we don't want to just repeat that stuff. Like, I mean,
I
well,
hear you.
like especially Ryan, dude. He's like, dude, he digs into all that source material. Like,
What I love about Ryan is the edge is always
even Jason Berman is like, you know what I mean? I don't agree with everything Jason Berman says, but like the way, like his folksy way of presenting like information, that's a good like dude, that's a good
with his
like,
fucking
like,
baby face and
he's
his
like a
Captain
smarter
America
Jim-
letteridge jacket. Yeah.
I love me some Jason Berman. I ain't gonna lie.
Ah,
I love Jason's energy though.
Yo,
Like,
you
dude,
got to,
and that's
yeah.
the thing. Like, I disagree with
Tom,
Jason
Joe,
on like.
that's legendary.
Come on, thumbs up, people.
I disagree with Jason on a lot of shit, but I still watch most of his shows because even if I disagree with him, like,
Yeah, I agree that Brian does
he's good.
excellent work. And,
I mean,
that's
he's-
what I'm saying.
I mean,
My mind stays wrapped around that a lot.
Uh,
well, and I mean, let's in full full disclosure, what I'm like, this is primarily an interview show. You know, we have people
Oh
on.
man, I got guests I want you to interview.
We got, we have people on to have whatever conversation we have, and if COVID comes up, then everybody's going to know right up front how we feel about it because we're not going to shy away from talking about it. But as far as
Thank you.
the minute by minute analysis, updates, releases of new information and shit, that's just not it's not the show. It's not how it's structured.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want to do that anyway. Like that's just too much. Like that hysteria, of like
Yeah.
just every minute. Like it's like
yes.
let's look at it from a measured point of view. Like let's take in the information they're giving us, like take in the alternative information. Like you don't have to dismiss things or disregard things or whatever. It's just like it from a measured way rather than just like full blown, like it's,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Well, for me, dude, like I know how I get, and I'll fixate on some shit, and I'll just dive into it and fucking not come up for air. I did it with booze for 20 years. I mean, like it fucking. I'm not even kidding, man. And I don't want to put myself in a position where I can no longer trust that the choices that I'm making are like impulse driven or like whatever, borderline addictive or what, however you want to frame it. You know,
absolutely.
I would rather have would rather cover lots of things and have lots of conversations with people where we can all eventually come to like the same conclusion or two.
Yeah.
But I intentionally don't like hyper focus on shit. And I say that at knowing full fucking well that I'm, that a part of Action for Assange, and I'm the national organizer for that group. But it's not like, yes, I do believe that all other issues could be, better served by having a fully functional WikiLeaks, but that's separate from all of the other shit that we end up talking about.
And needs fixing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of fixing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it needs to be dismantled at a certain point. Like when it just, like there are certain things that are just rotten and you can't reform it. Like it's just not.
Again, I take my model from the rebuilding of a brain, right? And I look at it in terms of what I can do versus what I have to do, what's being forced on me and what I have to resist in order to maintain what I know is good for me, right? And so as long as I get out of my own way, and in the expression of a friend, so one of the things that's common with brain injury, apparently, is that we forget to take care of ourselves. We might perfectly take care of our pet, but completely deny ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And it makes no sense. And when you put it in front of us, it makes so much no sense, we don't even see it.
Yeah.
So we just keep doing the same thing over and over, taking care of the animal and slowly dying. And so the expression comes up, feed your dog. Take care of the body that carries your brain around, and you've got a shot at repairing your mind.
Yeah.
And so in the same way, if we look at pretty much everything around us, we can find small improvements that make for a much better end result. And in doing that on a regular basis, it becomes a habit. And other people notice that things tend to improve in your company. And so they gravitate to you. And this becomes community. And in the exercise of community, we find common values, shared resources, which we can focus from time to time to considerable effect in our environment. It's immediately interactive. We know right away if the test worked. And so this allows us to inform ourselves on a regular, ongoing, and very intimate basis because we're all already in each other's shit. So there we go. How to live together, right? This ideal form of association breaks down quickly at scale. It needs management by much larger structures with much greater power. And what happens is when you put some people in the wrong spots in the machine, it tends to eat the people it's supposed to care for. So we have to pull it back from that now. And it's kind of like trying to fix the plane while it's flying. We as a bunch of passengers and crew have to decide what parts of the internals of this flying organism that we can sacrifice to repair the externals so that we can hopefully get to a spot where we can land and do full-scale repair. This is the situation we are born into already, but decisions from long ago, right? And so what we've inherited is this flying contraption that's trying to drop out of the sky that we have to learn to fix while it's in the air so that we can land in the first place. And
it's on fire.
And so it's a weird thing to try to pick up.
Yeah.
And normal physics won't work. Normal engineering won't work.
Raw brands are great.
No, you're right. I don't know. I just feel like I just like at this point, like the whole system, like our whole incentive system, just it's so flawed. You know, like you just everything that's rewarded is like being dominant and like competitive and crushing motherfuckers. You know, like that's what's rewarded. So that's what the society is going to reflect because that's what is being revered.
Right. So what do you think about this ID? So
Okay.
I got a sort of a brain fart going on. I'm trying to pull into words here, but it strikes me that if I pull the resources together that I need in order to do the best job with the resources available, I have to usually impose myself on some section thereof in order to force compliance with the overall plan so that the thing gets done. And this builds all kinds of local resentments. And when those resentments get out of hand, in the big picture, we call that war. But in the family or in the small network or group or crew or gang or what have you, it breeds a kind of a revenge game. And among men, it's common for these revenge games to go on for long times because it's a habit. And then you get into a habit, you don't have to think about it. You just keep doing it, blah, blah. But among women, it turns more into an ongoing evaluation of the best candidate. You know, the selection of the best becomes the thing that the girls do as a group. It's impossible to deny it. You know, it's like so.
Well, I mean, they have to give birth to children, so they're kind of I think what is it? Women were the first eugenicists, technically.
Yeah.
You look at Margaret Sanger, and it's hard to argue.
Right? You know what I mean? Like I don't agree with it. It's just
it is. Yeah. It is what it is.
I saw that look, Glory.
So if I were to continue with the idea, I would ask, is it possible for this common understanding to provide the basis for a legal framework that permits honesty to be rewarded rather than the efficiency of the kill, so to speak? And in this way, we have a chance of taking advantage of the best of all of our understanding, as opposed to this weird rich man, poor man story that keeps trying to replay itself.
But I feel like you can't ask the people who are the ones that are that are getting rewarded, that are winning, to be the ones to change the system. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, they need punched in the face.
I don't know how.
Thank you, Glory.
I love you.
And that's putting it nicely. That's me putting it nicely.
Yeah.
So I need to take that same impulse, Glory, and I need to translate that into something that non-violently conveys the same point in such a resounding way it's not forgotten.
Okay, so maybe not a punch in the face, but a kindly worded discourse to the face. And maybe the discourse has a couple of cuss words thrown in there. Maybe the discourse is delivered in, a manner similar to that which I rant with. But nah, I'm typically more soft on people than I am on authority. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a lot closer to Trump supporters on the street than I am to Sheriff Al Dick-ass Chump Nueva. Yeah.
This is kind of my thought about it, and that's my entire life. The presumed authority has never been able to answer my questions to my satisfaction. And when I get answers to those questions, it's always without fail by a peer.
Right.
So I don't submit to authority because they're not they're not adequately able to provide answers to my questions. However, I will listen to, respect, and respond to my peers who have proven that they can give good answers, good counsel, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would consider anybody that can provide answers to questions that I have up here.
Yeah.
Like, I also don't try and like elevate or de-elevate people. I don't think there should be a you know, structure that we
No, I think you're doing a really
we
good
have to
job,
do
Steve.
that.
You're doing, like, you're a pioneer to me, because it's like you're exploring all of the ways we can set up a law so that it's genuinely good for people instead of just prone to being taken advantage of by criminals. And so if we keep it good for people, you don't need cops, because people are going to make sure the good thing happens. You know.
Yep.
And
if you eradicate poverty, then there won't be any crime. Honestly, like there won't be any need.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah.
You don't need law enforcement. I don't know. I genuinely think like everyone is redeemable. I think people are good.
less cynical than I.
I do. I think everyone is redeemable. I think they're just products of their environment. Like that's just like a lot of people are just victims. Like even like the most truly vile, like just heinous.
Okay, so let's explore that for a minute.
Okay.
Then I'm not going to disagree that everyone has the capability of redemption, but I would argue that far too many people are either unwilling to consider redemption or would be offended by the suggestion that they need to be redeemed.
That's a good point. Yeah.
As I mean, you were saying earlier, this is what society rewards. Society rewards sociopathic behavior.
Yeah.
And if you're striving for that, if that's your measure of success, is what you've been taught, you know, is to engage in sociopathic behavior, to hoard wealth, to, you know, give yourself a mental illness, essentially, or two, if possible. Then the suggestion that you even need to be redeemed, I imagine would be downright offensive.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess it just depends on how you approach everyone. And in my definition, I was more thinking about redeem as in like just maybe like crooked politicians or just people who've become corrupt, like people who are, you know, like just that most people would consider terrible people. Because I think we're born blank slates, you know, like it's not genetic. I honestly think it's just a behavioral thing. Like it's just what you've learned, but you can unlearn it. It's a behavior that
you don't think there's you don't think that people are genetically predisposed to anything, that it's all environment?
I think most of it is. I don't think that people are greedy genetically. I think it's just we cope with the society that we're born into. And you know, human beings are very resilient. I think we want to survive, like you have a survival instinct and you kind of morph into, you know, perhaps the whatever kind of society that that you happen to be born into. But I don't think that people are born greedy. I don't think that they're born. I think people are born like they want to collaborate. I think they want to work together. They want to be around other people. They don't. People don't want to see other people suffer. I don't like it's. I maybe some people, maybe I could be wrong, but because, you know, like if you see someone fall or like something bad happening to them, even if you don't like them, like you have that like just instinct to be like, oh, I forgot, I don't like you. but you know, but you still, I don't know. I think that's how we are naturally.
I see the whole thing a little bit differently, and I want to check with Anthony too. To me, it seems the economic yardstick of social value has failed society. It's not working anymore because obviously some real dicks can make an awful lot of money and still be dicks. And so that's obviously not working in terms of what's good for society. Now, on the other side of the scale, I know because I've been one. Sometimes you have to be a dick in order to get the shit done. You got to
Yeah.
be short with people. You got to be rude. You got to be offensive. You got to bust in. You got to break it up. You got to fix it. You got to change it. And somebody's going to complain. And you just got to tell them, shut up. It's going this way anyway. And that never flies. So what we need to do is keep the plane flying. So how do we come to the best idea with the least strife? You know, that's the question, right? And in every single context, whenever you go here with the system, then you didn't fill out the right form, and so the permission wasn't. So actually, you're in transgression of the law, and we should make an example of you, and blah, 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 blah. And so you get shut down, right? And so what needs to happen is a concerted effort among a group of people that makes it clear that without the participation of the people, the system is dead.
Yeah.
Then everybody gets the point and we all go back to work. But a whole lot of constitutional and judicial change is going to have to happen first, because these patterns are very old now. The very old money and the very rich whip are very used to their own exercise.
I mean, there's no accountability. There's absolutely, there's no accountability. Like it's.
Which makes it very difficult to rationalize the existence of a lawyer.
Yeah.
God damn, that's fucking hilarious. Oh man.
Woo!
You know what? Dude, lawyers talk to each other like that too.
That's right.
Lawyers' favorite jokes are lawyer jokes.
Correct. The law contest is a who's the biggest liar contest.
It really is. Or who's the most creative liar?
Yeah. Most creative.
And who has the best
most
cocaine?
convincing.
Yeah.
There's a line in a Terry Pratchett book where one of the main characters is saying like, they just got rid of trial by ordeal about a dozen years ago because they figured out that trial by lawyer was nastier.
It goes deeper and lasts longer. Yep.
Are you fucking? Hey, Steve.
That's probably my weekly plug for a Terry Pratchett novel. But the book,
Anthony, what do you think about all that law business?
Hey, Steve, check your Discord.
Yes, and me?
Anthony, yeah, what do you think about all that law business? Especially given the focus you were just giving the president's men and everything, earlier.
Shit, you know me, man. These laws only apply to us. They don't apply to the people, the people that enforce them. There's always two set of rules for everybody. So like, who's to say who's the arbiter of what's right and wrong? Anyway?
Just checking.
I have no
I kind of knew you were going to go there, but I was just checking with you, man. I'm still on your bus, buddy. I'm right with you. Definitely not going to be the same law that affects me as affects Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or Hillary Clinton or oh my goodness, on and on. Big list. It's a big goddamn.
And we have a No, go ahead.
I think guillotines almost. I'm trying to avoid the guillotine.
Across every sector, like it's a private-public partnership. These people, the government scratches their back, they scratch the government's back, and we get fucked every which way.
You're right.
Continuously. It only gets worse. It doesn't get better.
That's right. Until we change it. And so now we've got to replace what exists, which works to a certain extent because we're still here. But we got to replace that with something that's better while it's running. And that's the challenging part, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to ask Steve, what would be like, would abolishing money be better, you think?
No.
Than abolishing lawyers?
No, I'm saying
First step.
Yeah, first step.
Hey,
I
dude,
mean, Shakespeare came to that conclusion.
hey, dude, like you won't have any more cocaine left if you fucking get rid of lawyers. It'll collapse
Oh,
that
man.
industry.
That's
I mean,
true. That is true. The legal industry runs on
and
cocaine.
Adderall, there will be no more
Wall
Adderall left.
Street.
They'll go out of business.
Yeah, with enough with enough basic rote memory and stimulants, any of us can pass the bar.
Probably.
Like, there's nothing fucking special about being a lawyer. But okay, so
So right now we've got a system that's set up, a system of economic values that's set up to drive society, and that needs to be exchanged for a system of genuinely humane values to drive society. And
Yeah.
so there's a conflict
Pro-human.
between the efficient and the humane, right? That's the way it's being dressed up.
I look at it. I'm gonna look at it spiritually
Go
for a
ahead.
moment, okay? And pretty much every religious text agrees that not only is money evil, but money is in fact the root of all evil. I genuinely believe that even if we abolished money, or that wouldn't necessarily do what we would want it to ideally. There's got to be like a transitional period, and this is something I vaguely remember hearing or reading Marx talk about too. And I'm not by any means Marxist. It's just a discourse that he had. And I'm kind of familiar with it, so I'm going to refer to it. It's going to take a lot more than simple abolition of cash to address the problems created by it, and it's going to take basically what amounts to a social contract that's rooted in some sort of agreed upon spirituality, not necessarily religion, but spirituality. And I hope that like that's a distinction with a difference for everybody.
So far, so good.
But I mean, we really are going to have to. The way that I've framed it is for years now is collective ascension, because I can't think of a better.
Yeah, I've been calling it uplift. Yeah.
And I'm not a fucking marketing guy, clearly. But I mean, honestly, man, that's what it's going to take, and that's along with that collective ascension, or agreed upon measure of spiritual growth. We're going to have to realize that our isms have failed us, that authoritarians have forfeited the right of rule.
Yep.
And that large central institutions only breed and welcome corruption, no matter what flag flies in front of them.
So far, so good. Yeah, I'm with you all the way. So far, I haven't found anything to hang me up. No, I'm an atheist, right? I'm a spiritual brick. I don't understand what that's all about. I can't find. I look for mine all the time. I can't find a damn thing. It's very frustrating. So I'm just going to leave it alone. But I respect everybody else's much more successful efforts in the area, and celebrate all of it. It's all good. I see us all as little neurons in a great big brain anyway. So I like the idea that we can come across such vastly different starting points to the same conclusion, That just kills me every time. You know, when you guys talk, I listen to my own heart. It's beautiful.
Aw.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thanks, Rob.
I don't even have anything snappy for that.
It's only true. It's only true, man. It's only true.
So I've got about 15 minutes before I have to go pick up a kiddo. So just giving everybody a heads up for that. I'm gonna have to split shortly after.
I love you, Anthony. I love you, Glory. I love you, Red Sea. I love you, Steve. I love you, Josh. I love you, Chad. I love you, World.
I love you guys too.
I'm not trying to get anybody out of here this minute, dude. And we fucking.
I gotta get me out of here.
I'm
starting to get too.
Well, we love you too, Mr. Wizard.
I'm gonna start.
We love you, Rob. You're the best.
Love you, Rob.
I love you. Bye.
You're awesome, Rob.
Our resident wizard. I love that man.
Right?
I want him to be like my grandpa.
Actually, everybody here is.
I know. Rob loves Glory's and Misty's balls. That's the thing.
The lady balls. It's a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are fierce. Yeah, she's like, they cannot be defined.
Hell.
No.
Misty kills me, man. Like, I've been friends with her for so many years, man. Like,
and it's in the kitchen, but I'm trying to stick around.
So, like, I don't know. We should let Red Sea like bring up some shit because she came late.
Okay.
Or Glory, because you've been quiet, Glory.
Glory, go ahead, please.
What?
No, both of you. I want both of you to talk more.
Let's all put everybody on the spot all at once.
I know, I'm a dickhead.
Right?
Everyone go.
I'll pull a rant out of nowhere if you want me to, but
I mean, what's y'all's like overall like
view?
Solve the world's problems right now.
Not that. That's not what I'm saying. Like, what are some of y'all's solutions to some of this fucking, whether it be the censorship shit, fuckery, good word. Like
fuckery.
Like
such fuckery.
Like my opinion is we just need to start fucking talking to people we don't necessarily want to talk to. And I'm wondering where y'all like
at the same time. Like, figure out what to do in the bigger picture, but in the meantime, do what I can. Like, you know, talk to people in person, do the stuff on Twitter, shitpost people's Wikipedia's pages, like, you know, go on my rants on the show.
Oh, you should totally talk about that for a second. Glory did some fucking hilarious shit, and it was short-lived, but my God, it was beautiful.
Oh, the WikiLeaks shit?
The fucking with Wikipedia?
Oh, Wikipedia, that's what it was. Wikipedia, my bad. But yeah, dude, I read that shit. Well done. Well done.
Do you want me to pull it up or?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So
I wasn't it? Didn't you do the Cenk Uygur one? Was that it?
Well, I didn't
do David Sirota and fucking something else.
I didn't see. I didn't see David Sirota.
Oh, the Sirota was this guy. I got it. I wanted that to happen mostly for like Misty, who just goes at that dude so fucking heavy.
Here's a screen
to be like, look, Misty.
Chat. Okay, let me. Alrighty. So basically,
that's right.
So as some backstory here, a couple months ago during the primaries, one day I was just like,
"Oh damn!
Why don't I go shift near attendance page?"
Damn, Glory! I didn't see this one. Hell yeah!
Yeah. So basically, I was just like, you know what? It's been a couple months. Why don't I fucking edit her page again? So I was like, you know what? I said to myself, I'm gonna keep it simple. So that's what I said. I said, Neera Tanden, born 1970, is an American political consultant, former government official, and soulless gatekeeper for the oligarchy.
Nice.
She is the president of the Saudi and MIC military-industrial complex-backed think tank Center for American Progress, where she has served in different capacities since 2003.
Holy
So
shit.
basically, this, and they changed it, and then I got this little notice right here that that my
Unconstructive edits my ass.
Apparently, yeah. So I was
Okay.
guilty of some vandalism here, and then lo and behold, so a couple other people saw it, and then
Hell yeah. It got
and then
screenshotted.
so I come back the next day, and they protected the fucking page.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
They actually.
yeah.
That's dope.
To prevent vandalism.
Way to go, Glory.
You fucking vandal.
Where's your mask, dude? Go wait. You need to put your mask on.
That's fucking badass,
You're
Glory.
fucking a non-mask. It's like it's a non-level trolling. It's nicely done.
That's awesome, Glory.
Yeah, and then, well, I was like, you know what, let me do Jank Uyghurs as well, and I didn't feel like being, for some reason, I was just like, you know what, how about instead of shit posting it, I just go and fucking, I just go and, like, add a random ass paragraph about Julian Assange in there, so that's what I did, and then Steve asked me to do the same thing for David Sirota, so I did. And then both those edits got deleted. So then lo and behold, now I have several vandalism notices on my Wikipedia account, which is fucking fine because I have two. So
Somebody in the chat, Iron Chief in the chat said the truth equals vandalism.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does.
You have $5 super chat from Jack Jones. Thank you very much. You can't talk about Texas music without Towns Van Zant. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. And Towns Van Zant, look, man, that's gonna have to be another show. But I have several like secondhand Towns Van Zant stories because a friend of ours, her dad used to throw music festivals in San Jose, and like Towns was up at their house pre-festival, and I got some fucking like some are sad, some are funny, some are fucking just super weird because it's Towns Van Zant fucking stories, and I will I'll share like one that I heard from a guitar player in Indianapolis where towards the end of his life, where Towns was basically just, you know, fucking shied away most of his friends and was just really seriously dedicated to drinking himself to death. He had pawned his guitar, and another Nashville guitar player had gotten it and then it pawned it back and it died. And Towns spent like 3 days tearing the dude's house apart and fucking couldn't find the pawn ticket for his guitar. And so the dude went out and got a buddy with a backhoe.
Yeah.
And they dug up this dude's grave, and Towns searched his suit and found the pawn ticket. And because he was Towns Van Zandt, and because he was fucking drunk as a lemur when all of this was going on, he just left and waited for the pawn shop to open up. And you've got like open defiled grave, like bulldozer,
Holy shit.
muddy footprints
Son of a bitch.
leading away. And then, yeah, Towns just fucking napping, waiting for the pawn shop to open.
Fun times.
Yeah, and that's like, there's a lot of like, there's no fucking way stories that involve Towns Van Zandt. A lot of them, and I've heard this from someone who I truly believe is telling me the truth about it, because he used to fucking stay with Towns, and there's like old Super 8 footage of them fucking fighting over what's left of a bottle and like playing songs together and shit.
I'm not surprised. Are these white people?
Yes, yes. Everyone
Extremely.
involved is white.
Extremely.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you'll get blinded
Oh.
looking at them in the snow.
Towns Van Zandt wrote Poncho and Lefty, and a ton of like other just country music standards, man.
Gotcha.
And Waiting Around to Die, Towns Van Zandt wrote that. And he'd always he'd get, you know, people in the audience would call out a song or something. I can't remember who he stole this from, but he'd always start with like, I'm gonna play a medley of my hit.
Hit.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Just the one.
But a medley. Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
But yes, yeah, absolutely. Fuck Fort Worth, Texas, fucking cracker.
As white as hell.
Cracker.
I've never been to the Midwest or the South. I stick to the coast. Yeah.
I haven't either.
I like to be on the coast.
I've
at all times.
I barely left the West
ready.
Coast.
I mean, I don't mind the Midwest. It's just that I have, like, my thing with water is just like, I have like a damn near spiritual connection to the ocean. So like, I'm either gonna end up on the coast or on the islands again, and that's just like, you know. And you know, like, I love mountains, I love forests, I still love the country, you know. I like the plains and the swamp too. Swamp's all right. I'll never forget my roots, but at the same time, like, I have a fucking island ocean soul.
All right, so I do got to get out of here. I want to thank you guys so much, man.
Oh, thank you
for being a part of this. This has been fucking awesome. If you are late to the show, go back to the beginning. That's when all of the receipts regarding Raul Diego and Whitney Webb and $10,000 in cryptocurrency take place. Raul is running around on Twitter calling this a public lynching.
He's now saying that Whitney set him up.
Now Whitney set him up because Whitney made sure that he was the only person who could access that crypto wallet, even though she had no idea that such a thing actually was a fact or a deal with Rockfin.
What's this? Like the fifth story change now?
So this is far from over, but he's welcome to come on and, you know, like,
shitty. It's so shitty. It's like
talk about a story in comparison to the fucking his own words in the WhatsApp texts and the screenshots that he took and shared.
Yeah, I'm a better tech guy than that guy. I want him to come on and try to bullshit me.
I'm for it.
Let's do it.
All right. Ain't no one getting past Sleepy J.
No.
I'm for it. But yeah, so you guys, please tell people where they can find you. Throw some final thoughts at us, and again, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't really. I'm not that active on social media. I have a Twitter account, but I'm not really. I go on there to troll like NPR journalists and stuff.
Good job.
Fair.
That's what I use it for.
That's worthwhile.
Yeah, but I'm always around on the chats and stuff. Like just kind of speaking my mind.
Yo, I wanted to leave you guys with something before I left. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we hear you, Ann.
Yo, Steve and Josh, you guys got to get into this fucking Twitch game and shit, bro. I'm telling you, bro. They got idiots with 32,000 people live, bro. They got Hassan Piker, the nepotism's king, just talking shit and like and being a dumbass. Like, yo, this guy Destiny. He got.
I mean,
his ass
I've streamed
handed
on
to
Twitch
him by-
myself. It's not like I can't set it up.
Yo, he got his ass handed to him by Ryan Dawson of all people. Like, these people are like selling like snake oil. Like, oh, we're socialists, but we push the U.S. imperialism. Like these people are fucking.
They're not
idiots,
socialists.
dude.
I wonder
We
how.
can't debate a paper bag.
I don't know. Let's see how quick
People need to
we can
get
get
on-
kicked off Twitch, Steve.
Oh yeah.
I'm down.
Like, to any YouTuber with like a good following, just try it out because these people are idiots.
I can add
They're getting
add
big
Twitch easily.
attachment
That's
and
not a
too
problem.
Is it for
I'm-
kids?
I'm-
Is it children? Is it I don't or not kids, but you know, like a
There's a lot of gamers there.
okay.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
a
a lot
ton
of
of gamers
gamers.
there. Most of them are in their like mid-20s and shit.
Okay.
Like
They're young.
they're youngsters for the
Like
most
the
part.
grift is strong over there. I'm telling you.
Really?
That's all I
I'll
wanna
go
ask
get
you
kicked
guys,
off
but-
for Twitch.
Yeah,
I'm down. You down, Glory?
Yeah, bro.
You're
I'll
thrown off
handle
of
it.
the-
I'll
Yo,
debate their
think about it.
ass in FIFA too.
I'll-
I ain't
I'll-
played in a while, but shit, I'll resurrect my account to fucking put
Yo,
Sergio
go
Ramos at
for it.
captain
Go
center
for it.
back and go
Tell
ham on these fools.
I can stream on there too. I've streamed on Twitch before. It's easy.
I don't. But
Hey, what's good, Nico? Nico's
oh hey,
Hi, Nico.
what's happening, Nico?
But yeah, I know you got to run.
You got to get Nico
Yeah.
back on the show here soon. But yeah, I do. I got a kid that I got to go pick up. So I'm gonna cut the usual fucking wrap up short. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Tony.
I will definitely go get thrown off of Twitch. I'll make that a thing that happens.
Wear it as
and,
a badge of honor.
Yep.
and we'll see you guys soon. Good luck to us all.
Website, slownewsdayshow.com.
Shit, we have a website, slownewsdayshow.com. Shit.
Which I got to update tonight to get
Like
the
the
newer
website
stuff
out.
on. Later, y'all.